the accident I got into wasn't my fault. And I'm content with that. Like, if it was my fault, I would have been dead. If somebody else hit me and it was their fault, and that just is what it is.
So you fought in the Eaton Canyon fires, and that was one of the, I would say, one of the most tragic events that took place in the flats of the San Gabriel Valley. Do you think somebody actually started that fire?
I started pinching myself. I was like, fuck. I can feel the pain, but I can't feel my legs. And I try wiggling my toes inside my boots, and shit happened. So I was like, fuck, I'm paralyzed.
Fascinating how something that's potentially going to help humanity is still in clinical trial.
Yeah, dude, out of nowhere, Maserati comes and smacks me.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the WiseNuts podcast channel. We want to thank every single one of you guys who continue to support, who have liked our videos, subscribe to our podcast, and hell, we're a couple seconds in. Smash that like button. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't. It helps us grow the channel. Also helps with the algorithm. Also, WiseNuts merch is available. Visit wisenutspodcast.com. Pick up a t-shirt. It's under $30. And you support the WiseNuts.
You guys spend $30 a day on crappuccinos and things that's not good for you.
Yes.
By the way, it's not 5 seconds in. This is actually our 8th take, no?
Yes, roughly. Roughly our 8th take.
450.
Hell, you never know. This might be chopped up from another episode, or
yeah, you never know.
All of a sudden my hair's grown out longer. I've got like a 6 o'clock shadow instead of a 5 o'clock shadow. But anyways.
But I'm still going to be wearing the same black t-shirt.
Yes. All 72 of them in your closet, just fucking hanging there. But we have a very special guest joining us today. A guest that I'm actually, we're both, all three of us actually, we're upset that we didn't hear about this sooner. Especially with the Eaton Canyon fires that took place. And I would say, I don't even want to say former firefighter.
Yeah, I think once a firefighter.
Always a firefighter. Mr. Armen Hagopian is here with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Appreciate this love and support you guys have shown me. And thank you for having me as a guest.
Well, shout out to my cousin Elvis for sharing your story with us so that we could have you here as a guest. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you so much, Elvis, for
shout out Elvis.
Connecting us. But as I said, we were very kind of shocked to hear about the story and why it hadn't gotten the news coverage or media coverage that it deserves. Just a little bit of your background. As I mentioned when I was saying former, but it's not a former. Once a firefighter, as Armin says, always a firefighter. Yeah. Pasadena Fire Department, that's where you work.
Yep. And
you were involved in a car/motorcycle accident.
Yeah. Kind of a little backstory. Worked for the Pasadena Fire Department. I've been there for 6.5 years. Started off my early career, with the Verdugo Fire Academy. That's kind of how I started at 19 years old. So I got my feet wet pretty early in the game. Came in, started the Fire Academy, got hired with Long Beach Fire Department, Vernon Fire Department, and then finally ended up with Long Beach, Pasadena. And I've been there ever since, so 6.5 years. Got hired there at 22, and obviously spent my career there, became a paramedic, and just serviced the city of Pasadena. So whoever's local to the Tri-City area, you might have seen me around, might have transported you, might have went on a special event or whatnot, and you might have seen me around. But kind of getting fast tracking onto the news coverage, it was out there. It was out there, but more so maybe isolated to the LA community area, the LA region area. I know KTLA 5 was broadcasted a story on me, and I think ABC 7 did one as well. And then slowly and surely, more people have been hitting me up wanting to kind of get the whole story about what happened and kind of get the insight of like what firefighting is and the Eaton fire and the accident and what I'm dealing with right now. And just happy to answer any questions some of the viewers might have. Some of the viewers might have known me or trying to just get the story out there and see what I can answer for you guys.
What was your inspiration for becoming a firefighter?
Oh man, that's a big one. Well, I mean, it all started off. That's such a crazy story, like way to start a story. But senior year of high school, we had to do a senior project, and I was always intrigued by ophthalmology or something to do with the eye. I always had bad vision, and I just wanted to be in a field where I can help people. I was having trouble getting a senior project kind of like involved where I can be like an intern somewhere, where I can volunteer at an office and get some experience at an optometry office. But my English teacher saw that I was having problems, and she said, "Hey, just go into emergency medicine, do your paper on whatever you want to do it on, but just there's a program out in Crescenta Valley High School, and you can do a course called Emergency Medical Responder, and then just go from there." I was like, cool, whatever. Joined the course. I was there with my buddy. His name was Andre, and we carpooled after class. And while I was doing that course, the instructor was a Burbank Fire paramedic, and he said, "Hey, like, there's not a lot of Armenian firefighters out there. You live in the area. It'd be great to have like a community member serve the community." Didn't think anything of it. 18-year-old kid, 17-year-old kid. I was like, whatever. I'm like, I'll figure it out. Graduated high school, didn't have it figured out. Don't know what I'm going to do. I was like, shit, I got to go to college. Either you go to school or you work, kind of in an Armenian household. So I went to school, got my EMT. That's how I found out about the academy, and then started working and going to school. And once I finished the academy, I was basically flourished with so many certifications and like things that I can utilize stuff with in job experience. I took all that knowledge and experience and applied it to my forthcoming jobs from 19 to 22, where I would take my knowledge and experience and get more knowledge and experience. And then lo and behold, 22, I'm here where I'm at. But that's where it started from. It was never the idea, and the plan was never to be in the fire service. It kind of was thrown onto my lap, and I just took it and ran with it. I'm happy I did. No regrets there whatsoever. Gave me everything I've ever wanted. Fantastic career. If you're into it and you're looking to get into the fire service, I highly recommend it. But I just want you to know, whoever's viewing this, it's a very demanding job. Very, very demanding, physically and mentally demanding. So if you are up for the challenge and you are up for it, for lack of better terms, I say go for it. Do it. The application process is pretty much open nationwide. So wherever you are, wherever you might be watching this video, go to your local fire department, see if they're hiring. So
you having the vision issues was not an obstacle, or that wasn't?
No, initially, so since I was kind of like in that training realm from that 19 to 22, it never really bothered me. But once I got hired full time, it quickly became an issue because now I'm there for days and swapping in and out of contact lens, and I had a bad vision. Swapping in and out of contact lens, eyeglasses, all that kind of stuff. I was like, this ain't gonna work. So what I did was LASIK. Paid whatever the cost was, got both my eyes done, did bad vision to good vision. I think I was -8, which is terrible. I think it's almost,
shit.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much legally blind. To 2020 or 2010, whatever it was. Pretty much solid vision. The only thing they couldn't fix was the astigmatism, which is like that super shiny bright light behind like a light that you would see. But that doesn't bother me at all. So no glasses, no contacts, and I get one free visitation for a correction. So I'm not in any type of hurting trouble whatsoever in terms of my vision goes. This is the issue, being in a wheelchair. So that's what's unfortunate.
So you fought in the Eaton Canyon fires, and that was one of the, I would say, one of the most tragic events that took place in the flats of the San Gabriel Valley. No one was expecting anything like that to take place in the residential flat areas of Altadena and obviously the canyons. When the fires broke out, everybody was like, all right, you know what? The hills are on fire. The fire department is going to be on top of it and they'll put it out. But then as soon as the flats hit, everybody was like, all right, we don't think this is going to get any worse than where it's at. And all of a sudden, practically half of Altadena burnt down.
Yeah.
We want to obviously thank you for your services. You, all the firefighters from Pasadena, Altadena, I think South Pasadena was involved as well, correct?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone came. Anybody who's involved in this like Area C region, which is this San Gabriel Valley area, Tri-City area, responded to that incident. Whether it was one engine, a chief officer, or whoever it might have been, volunteers for that matter, everyone kind of pulled their resources together and came together and just tried to figure out what to do in this devastating situation. And it was a team effort, realistically, because everyone was hurting, because that mountain would have gone over the brim and gone over to any other city. It's the Angeles National Forest, right back door. I mean, the other end of it was going to be Sierra Madre and Monrovia and Arcadia. The other end of it would have been Glendale and La Cañada. So it's like, hey, all hands on deck. Otherwise, it's going to get worse.
And we had Armen Hagopian here, the comedian, and his sister lived in Altadena. I don't know if you watched that episode or not, but
I briefly saw a clip.
Yeah, so we talked about what was going on, and we kind of, from a firefighter's perspective, we want to kind of get an understanding. He mentioned something about going to his sister's house, turning on the hoses or the hose bibs, and no water was coming out.
Yeah.
So we want to shed light on this situation. Was it something where the fire department had purposely kind of designated water to hydrants, or was it a coincidence that there was no water in those hose bibs?
Okay. Kind of to backpedal, for sure, Eaton fire, one of the most devastating fires in LA County, possibly, like, I don't say in California, but top 5 for sure.
In San Gabriel Valley, I think it was probably the worst thing that's ever
100%.
Worst fire.
San Gabriel Valley, 100%, without a doubt. There has been the Bobcat fire and all that other stuff going on, like 2020 and 2021, but insignificant compared to what happened in Eaton fire. This will be in the history books for sure. But the water situation was, you want me to start from the beginning in terms of like what happened the day of? Because I was there the second it happened. We saw the glow. I mean, I could start from there.
That was what, January 6th or 7th?
I think it was January 8th. I mean, I have it timestamped.
7th was when the fire actually was pretty much spread out. But I don't know if it started on the 6th or was it on the 7th that it started? Because I was out of the country at the time. We were on a family vacation.
It might have been the 7th.
Yeah, and that's when I got the call, was on the 7th that we had to evacuate because I had a facility in Altadena.
Yeah, it might have been on the 7th now that you say it, because on the 8th, I was moved on to the engine. On the 7th, I was working on an ambulance. So on the 7th, you're right, the wind event. So it all started from the wind event. Back in 2010, 2011, Glendale, Burbank, and Pasadena all had this wind event that the Santa Ana winds would come and just knock down trees over. I was living in Glendale at the time, and I remember all, like, Brand Boulevard, the dealership full of cars, all their glass windows were blown out. I'm sure you guys remember that too, or to some magnitude. And I wasn't living in Pasadena. I had no idea what Pasadena was going through, but after getting hired, they told me, oh yeah, the wind event, fires are breaking out left and right. There's house fires here, house fires there, poles down, trees down, and it was just chaotic, nonstop calls throughout the night, and it was just mayhem. And I was like, oh, like, what's the worst that can happen? And that was the discussion of the day. Like, oh yeah, they said the wind is coming. Yeah, like 30, 40 mile an hour winds, and then jumped up to 50, 60, and now it's coming towards the evening, and now the wind event kicked in. Now you're getting like 60 mile an hour winds, trees are falling, wires are going down, you got resources that are tapped out, and it's for medical emergencies and then public service emergency. So someone's calling because they're not necessarily hurt, but something's going on within their neighborhood where they need help. They're either blockaded or they have no electricity. There's a pole fire, whatever the case may be, but it takes a resource out of the city. So in that instance, it was around, I think it was like 7 p.m. We ran a call. My partner and I on the ambulance. His name is Eric. We ran a call, and it was on Washington Boulevard, on the north side of the street. We went in, we did our assessment, the engine pulled up, and it was windy. So we just told them, hey, just bring your normal equipment and just get the gurney ready because we don't want to bring this patient out into wind, have him feel uncomfortable and all that stuff. So we got the gurney ready, and we put him on the gurney. And as we're like pushing him down or wheeling him down to where the ambulance is, like you can tell, like you can't move this. You need 4 people on this gurney. Get him to the back of the ambulance, load him up. And I believe it was the patient who pointed it out. He's like, oh, look up there, there's a fire. So we looked behind us, and I kid you not, it may be the size of, oh man, so hard to like describe it in perspective, but like a car fire. You would imagine like a little tiny car fire up in the mountain. You're like, oh yeah, something's on fire up there. But you're kind of like, holy shit, like with these winds, you have a wind-driven fire now. Like this thing is gonna take off. So we tell the boys, like, hey, just cut loose, go off. So they just go. The fire hasn't even been dispatched yet. Fire has not been dispatched yet. They get dressed. They bomb down Washington Boulevard. So we're in the northwest side of the city. They get first on scene, and they're now northeast of the city. So you're driving like a 4-mile drive, and they get first on. That's how far ahead they were. That's how much of a head start they had.
It's a beyond first responder at this point.
Yeah, you got like first dibs on it. So we end up going to the hospital, and then we end up going to the helipad because Huntington Hospital in Pasadena has a helipad, and there's apocalyptic, but in the mountain range, like you're like, oh my god, this thing took off. So you're just like, again, holy shit! Like,
so between the time that you were responding to that one patient, how long did it take for you to get to Huntington Hospital and up to the helipad to actually kind of? So how much had that fire expanded already?
So here's another thing that I will kind of correct on the media. Just because you get a 911 transport via ambulance does not mean you'll get seen by emergency physicians quicker. So do not call 911 thinking you'll be seen quicker by...
I think that's a misconception, that's
a huge misconception.
Yeah, if I go to the ER myself, I have to wait for 8 hours. But if I call 911, I'll be in 8 minutes.
No, you're going to wait.
Instead of you waiting in the waiting room, you'll just be...
waiting with us.
Waiting, exactly.
You're waiting with us.
And you have to wait the whole time until they go in?
Yeah. So here's the thing. So now this is the situation. This guy can't take care of himself. He can't walk. So now we get to the ambulance bay, pull out, put him in the triage area. We check him in. We get him registered. That all that stuff happens quick, sure. But it doesn't mean you get seen, you're going to get a bed. So it's called, quote unquote, it's called holding the wall. Like you're going to be waiting for a minute. So you're holding the wall. We're holding the wall for about an hour and a half until we finally get a bed. Clearly, like even if he were to come in on his own, he would not have gotten that bed that quickly. But it's the hospital's responsibility to clear us because we're a city resource and we still have to respond to city incidents. Like we can't imagine all 6 ambulances come into the hospital. Now there's no ambulances left for the city. So there has to be a turnaround regardless. Whether you're sick or not, there has to be a turnaround. Whether you're not, there has to be. So at that time, there was no one waiting. We held the wall for about an hour and a half, got our bed cleared, got everything ready. And we're like, okay, let's just go check it out real quick. And that's when like post hour and a half later from what we had initially seen, now you have this whole blank canvas of mountain range on fire. So now we get back and we're immediately like assigned to calls, but these are acute calls of medical emergencies and public service. So we're having single ambulances, single resource, single resource response. So just an ambulance going to a medical emergency, which is not ideal, because if you do have a true medical emergency, you want all hands on deck. You want all 6 people, you want all 6 personnel. You want the best care for your family member or for whoever it is. So now they're already tapped on resources. The city's calling 911, and it's just like they have to dedicate medical and fire, and it's all queued. So the fire department at this point has like committed to the mountain. I don't know what happened operationally, obviously, because I was not there in the act of active firefighting on that engine at that time. But they were eventually pulled off the mountain because houses were catching fire. Our house is catching fire when this mountain's on fire. Well, now you have 90, 100 mile an hour gusts coming into the city, blowing all those embers onto trees, palm fronds, all that crap. And it's just leapfrogging. It leapfrogs. And it just caused, it just tapped out so many resources so quick, you can't get ahead of it. And now the mountain's on fire. So once you pull the resources off the mountain, now the mountain takes off, makes its way down to the northwest, where the west side of Altadena is, or the northwest of Altadena is, and starts burning everything down, starts coming down that way. But it's kind of like a unbeatable battle. You can't beat Mother Nature. You can do the best you can and try and mitigate the resources to the best of your ability, but you're never going to get ahead of a wind-driven fire. It's just too erratic, especially at those speeds. Like, it's always going to shift. It's always going to change. It's going to go from one direction to another. And it's just too violent of a behavior to be guessing. You can't be predicting what's going to happen. And this is where you kind of transition to utilities. Let's put it into that subcategory. Whose fault was it? Well, it's in the mountain ranges, and you have high tension power lines. So I'll just leave it at that. We'll let the audience decide whose fault that was. And then, but coming down to the firefight, I think there comes a point where the city officials or DWP or whoever's running management there is going to say, cut off municipal water and power, because one, you want to conserve resources, and two, if there is a fire, you don't want it to you don't want to cause like accidental floodings. You don't want to cause like, let's say a tree falls onto a house and then there's an arc. Now there's a house fire for unnecessary reason. You could have just turned off the power. And
yeah, but power is one thing. Water was another.
Yes. So
power was Edison.
So
and then water was the city utility, right?
Yes.
So it's two completely different entities. Mm-hmm. Edison could have said, okay, you know what? We're shutting off the power. You're not going to have any power.
Yeah.
But water could have still remained on for people to turn on their hose bibs,
sure,
and potentially save their homes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were talking about possibly putting sprinklers on top of their roof, mm-hmm, just in case there's another fire. But if there's no water going to those sprinklers, what's the point of it?
Yeah. So the second day, January 8th morning comes. So it's 8 p.m. night. It's like evacuation and like public assist and medical emergencies throughout the night. The next morning comes and I get reassigned to the engine. Now I'm active firefight in the northwest of Altadena. We were trying to take fire hydrants, and when I say take, like capture and secure a water supply. And they're just soft, dude. They're you can like put your finger in it and squish the fire hose, and it's like, why is there no pressure? Why is there no water flowing through it? And the best analogy, there was water for us, enough water for us, but the issue was, I think, the best analogy I can give is, imagine you have a big gulp and then you have one straw, and that one straw is totally fine, which the one straw should be you. But since there's so many fires at so many different locations and there's only so many water mains, so many people are tapping into the same water main, the same big gulp. Imagine 15 straws in one big gulp. That big gulp's going to run out instantaneously. Even if it's underneath the thing and you're pressing it, some people are going to suck that thing dry, and like there's no water. And that's why you come up with misconception of, oh, there was no water. There was no water for the residents for sure, because I know the utilities were shut off. But for us, we were running into that issue where there were so many resources tapping into municipal or city water, the resources like fire hydrants on the same water main, on the same lateral or
What's
whatever the case may be.
is there a difference between the water main and the fire hydrants that are on residential streets, or
No, so the water main provides water to everything. So that's the pipes running down the streets, the main, like let's say the main thoroughfare. Let's say we're on Brand Boulevard over here. Brand Boulevard, water main runs down Brand Boulevard, and you have laterals. You get branches that run off that main. Those are all providing water to the hydrants and the residents. But you're on a meter. The hydrant's not on a meter. We can tap into that fire hydrant and have water whenever we want, but we can shut off your water and you cannot get water. So it's the same water. It's just we have access to it. You don't.
the reason I'm asking that is because right after the fires happened, a couple of weeks after, one of my neighbors who works for LA County, I'm not sure exactly which department. I know he's an engineer, and I think he does, if I recall correctly, the water calculations and all that. And I asked him, I said, how come none of the fire hydrants in Altadena had water flowing through it? And he said, because those fire hydrants, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if this is something they teach you guys in Fire Academy or this is something you're aware of, but what he told me is those fire hydrants are not designed to fight fires for a whole block. He says the way those are calculated is the fire hydrant takes the average square footage of the house on that block. For example, the block of Brand Boulevard, right? You've got 15 homes. Average square footage is 3,000 square feet. That fire hydrant has enough water to fight off a 3,000 square feet home that's burning down, because the intention of the fire hydrant is not to manage the whole block. Yeah. Those are very rare occasions, right? Where 100%. The whole block burns down. So it's typically one house. They have to come in, connect it to the fire hydrant and try to put out the fire for one house typically. True. So he says that's how it's calculated. That's why once the whole block is burning down, that fire hydrant doesn't have the capacity to have enough water flow so you can put out the fires for the whole block. Yep.
That's true. That's true. There's some truth to that. And then a great example I can give you is you go down to your residential street, you have a tiny hydrant, which I don't say tiny, but like a normal size hydrant. But you go down, again, commercial, Brand Boulevard, you had these super hydrants, massive connections, multiple connections, large diameter like discharges. So yes, there is some truth to that. It's the gallons per minute. So how much GPM can this fire hydrant put out? You're not going to have a super hydrant down in a residential area because it doesn't. That's not what code is requiring it to be. Down in Altadena, not only did you have to run into that issue, it was the issue of everyone wanting to tap into that main. Not even the hydrant, the main. The main supplies all those hydrants. You can be on the same main, but be on this hydrant, on this side of the block, and that hydrant. The pressure differences might be, you might have some pressure differences, but the water is not going to be the issue. This was a water issue. There were so many people tapping into these hydrants that it was like, dude, you're sucking out of nothing. You're sucking air. So that's the issue on that. Plus, there's, it's not designed for the entire city block to be burning, and you also have age. Like these things hadn't been serviced in so long. I remember trying to take a hydrant and I had to break the discharge cap off. I was like, dude, we, as in Pasadena, service our own fire hydrants. We have to go paint them and we have to service them and flow them every year annually. We have a checklist. I don't know what county does. I'm not going to pin the blame on them, but clearly that thing was in service because that cap was glued shut. I had to break it. And we never had an issue with Pasadena water. Pasadena never had an issue, as far as I know, with water within our community. We just had a widespread fire issue. And that's county and city. That's where they kind of draw the line. I don't know if you're familiar with like.
Yeah. Pasadena is pretty much
it's incorporated.
Yeah.
It's incorporated. It's its own city. Altadena is unincorporated. So the people who service Altadena is LA County Sheriffs and LA County Fire. Pasadena, we have our own fire department. We have our own police department. So we service all our own stuff, and we have our own protocols and everything. So SOPs and SOGs, and we abide by all those rules. I'm not to say like we were stellar at our jobs and we did everything right. Like no one's perfect. I mean, tell me a person that got 100% on everything in their entire life. It just doesn't exist. So there's always room for improvement. There's always corrections to be made. Everything, everywhere in life. They always say like once you think you know it all, it's time to retire. So there's always room for improvement. So it's what is it now? 9 months post incident, and there's going to be like an after action review at some point where they're going to review the comms and what went right, what went wrong, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just eager to listen to that. But
I think the FAA should review it because the airline industry is probably the most efficient industry out of all industries out there. As far as, I mean, if you look at the way even, for instance, an airplane is constructed, right? Every square millimeter of the airplane is utilized.
Yeah.
The thorough inspections. I'm talking about pre-DEI. Post-DEI, story may be a little bit different, but pre-DEI, FAA is the most efficient in the industry out there. And for instance, if healthcare, if fire department, if law enforcement, any of these other industries can take half of the protocols that the FAA has and apply it to them, I think it would be far more efficient and the outcomes would be incredible. And I don't know why they don't do it, because there's a ton of studies out there about the FAA and how, every single airplane, the way it's inspected, just the flight logs. I mean, every single thing, every bolt, right. That's why it's considered the safest
form of transportation. Yeah,
form of transportation.
Yeah.
Do you think somebody actually started that fire?
No, I think it was accidental. I think that one was truly accidental. I think there was some, again, personal opinion. I think there was some type of like negligence involved behind it, because as far as I've been like growing up to adulthood, they would always shut down the power or say like, hey, like don't use electricity on like high peak hours or whatever it may be. For those purposes. And I think it was a shutting down power issue. If I, truth be told, I think they didn't do their due diligence in doing that. And there were some ignition sources on the mountain, and that's what it spread. Now, Palisades, I know they kind of went like hand in hand together, because the Palisades started burning off, and then the Eaton fire took off. Palisades, I can't speak for. What happened with the reservoir? There was no water. Newsom did this. Newsom did that. I can't comment on it. I wasn't there. All I can say is I've heard stories of the reservoir being empty. They ran into the same issues with county fire hydrants being limp, and so forth. And I've also heard the rumors that one was started intentionally. But it's, again, rumors. I have no idea. I wasn't there. I can only speak on Eaton because I was there.
Well, we know our property taxes are put to good use at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
because the county is who collects the property taxes.
No, so if you are a property owner,
okay,
and you are paying municipal property tax, it goes to the city. So it just depends on the city. So if I live in the city of Pasadena and I own property and I pay property tax in the city of Pasadena, it's Pasadena.
No. I understand that. But remember, you're paying to your county, and then your county disperses it to whatever city it is. So if you're LA County and you live in the city of Glendale, a portion of those property taxes will go to your city that will pay for fire, schools, streets, police, all that stuff.
Yeah, public service.
Service and stuff. Obviously, it's much more than that. Yeah. But when you look at how much money is actually collected,
it's way more than what it's being used.
Oh yeah. It's ridiculous the amount of money that's being collected.
If you want to start on like say how our money is being or like what the true issue is money management. That's the true root cause of the issue. Because if it was if you wanted to like say the perfect world, we'd have all the fire stations in the world, we'd have all the cops in the world, we'd have aircraft that's dumping water immediately. I mean,
Well, Armin, we had a video that went viral when we spoke about this. I actually had numbers of how much property taxes were collected. Dude, $500 million just in Palisades on single family residents was collected.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how many employees? You got so many county employees.
But
I mean,
look at the number here, man.
It's crazy.
$500 million in single family residents. I'm not talking about all those amazing restaurants that were literally on the coast, the commercial buildings, the apartment buildings, and this is just one city.
And yet we had to borrow those water planes from Canada because California has a larger population, and Newsom always takes pride in we're the fifth largest economy in the world. Yet
we don't have shit.
We don't have water planes, whatever they're called, those carriers, and we had to borrow them from Canada.
Yeah. And this argument happens with all these left-wing wackos who support Newsom, where we talk about that and we bring that up to them. The numbers, bro. Remember,
statistics.
We talk about statistics, the numbers. Yeah. We're not talking about Beverly Hills, Brentwood, La Cañada, Santa Monica, Calabasas, West Hollywood. Yeah. I mean, look at these cities and average out how much homes are selling in that neighborhood and how much property taxes they're collecting. Have you been involved in a car accident? Don't face the aftermath alone. Armen Grigorian is your personal injury attorney who specializes in car accidents. He'll fight for compensation that you deserve. Call Armen Grigorian now at 818-404-0333. That's 818-404-0333.
It's funny how I see all these memes. I'm sure you've seen it on, Instagram and whatnot. And it's like these, the Romans and these guys built the streets 2,000 years ago, still no crack yet. Yeah. The streets we built with all the new technology and engineers, and every 6 months it has to be replaced. Yeah, but it's all done intentionally because that's how they keep the money circulating.
Yeah.
If they built roads that would last 1,000 years, then what the hell do we need city workers for?
We wouldn't.
And I was watching this clip last week. It was this basically pavement repair truck in Sweden where it just comes to the street. It looked like it was just spray painting it. Mm-hmm. And it repairs the potholes without, literally in minutes. Here we have to shut down the freeways for 2 weeks. Traffic is crazy at 2 a.m. And
you remember the 5 freeway by Norwalk and Buena Park? That thing has been under construction for 2 decades.
I think since I was born, that's been
that thing. I know you know what I'm talking about. I know all the viewers know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's but that's just how I think government works, especially in the U.S. Is you have to waste money, circulating. You have to circulate the money, you have to raise fees, and that's how it revolves.
Yeah,
and
no, 100%.
When you look at these numbers, you're talking. Now, I look at it through the lens of, all right, Palisades is $500 million. And that's just single family residents. Dude, look at how many properties there are all throughout Los Angeles.
Yeah.
In multi-million. Bro, so shitty areas in the valley now had homes selling for $1 million. That's why you look at it, you go, oh my God, man, how much money is really being allocated towards.
So here's the thing too. I think there are homes that are being assessed at certain values. And then there are people who are living in these homes over generations that property tax has not increased. Does that make sense? You have these 80, 90-year-olds who, Mima and Peepaw, who bought this house for $40,000, but it's worth $15 million. That's over-exaggerating, but $2 million now.
Call it $1 million.
Call it $1 million.
Call it $1 million.
They paid 40 bands for $1 million house, but they're only paying property tax on 40 bands.
Yeah. No, I know.
So it's
exactly. Okay, so California is close to $9 trillion. Now, let's assume whatever Armin's saying, that's not the case, and there aren't people who are paying for their $50,000 purchase from 50 years ago and all that. Mm-hmm. Let's assume everybody's paying today's value of $9 trillion at 1.25%. That's simple math, 1%.
Yeah, 1%.
You're talking about $90 billion. That's it
in California. Yeah,
all of California, 1% of $9 trillion is $90 billion.
That's well, see, LA County is 1.25%.
Yeah, this is kind of like the argument we had years ago. It took a while for him to agree that physics involves math. So now he's gonna
wait. No, I said physics is science.
Yeah, he's like physics is science. We're like, no, physics involves math. You're like, no, it doesn't. It's all science. And now he's gonna argue the whole property tax thing. It's impossible. We probably collect 17 trillion in property taxes.
So let's look at this. California in 2023-2024 fiscal year collected $95 billion in tax revenue.
Here, hold on. While we're at this topic, why don't you ask ChatGPT what was the water issue in the Eaton fires?
Well, it's going to be biased, bro.
Well, you don't know. I'll verify it with true facts.
It's not Grok.
You should.
Grok smarter, huh?
You should ask it. Be like, during the Eaton fires. Claude. During the Eaton fires, what was the sole purpose?
Let's do this. Let's do this. Hey, ChatGPT. What was the issue with the Eden Canyon fires and the fire hydrant issue that they had?
The Eden Canyon fires were a series of significant wildfires in California, and one major issue that came up was related to fire hydrants. During firefighting efforts, it was reported that some fire hydrants in the affected areas were either non-functional or difficult to access. This significantly hampered firefighting efforts as firefighters rely on hydrants for water supply to combat wildfires effectively. The issue highlighted the importance of maintaining and ensuring the functionality of fire hydrants, especially in wildfire-prone areas. It also underscored the need for better infrastructure planning and emergency preparedness to mitigate the impact of such disasters.
Yeah, very vague.
Is there?
Yeah,
very vague.
Very vague.
Very vague.
That's what I'm telling you.
60% accurate.
So what's the 40% that was inaccurate?
Oh, they're saying it's in wildland it's saying it's in wildland areas.
Yeah, and it was mentioning something about having difficulty accessing it.
No, the access was there. You had access. There were no access issues for fire hydrants.
That's as accurate as saying, lion is the king of the jungle, even though lions don't even live in the jungle.
Yeah, there you go.
I've always questioned that. Where did that come from? King of the jungle. Which jungle?
Ask ChatGPT if lion is considered the king of the jungle. Which jungle does it live in since it lives in the Sahara?
We're going to have an episode of just us talking to fucking AI.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all you need.
Just hear the phone right here on the mic and you're just like talking to it.
Hey, ChatGPT, what do you think of
Yeah, dude, but it's scary.
Wait, do you pay for it?
No, I don't pay for it.
Okay, no, pay for it. It's crazier.
Yeah, I pay for it.
Yeah, Joe has talked about what his capabilities are with it. And
insane.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. But here's the thing with ChatGPT, I've noticed that Grok is much more efficient and smarter than ChatGPT.
I don't know. I have no.
In what sense? Everybody has a favorite. In what sense is it smarter?
I mean, when you look at well, I'm going to go to Google now for this one. But when you actually Google the capabilities of what AI is the most efficient and smartest, Amazon was the first one. What was Amazon's AI called?
I don't think Amazon had one.
I'm sorry, not Amazon's. Google's AI. What was
Gemini?
Google's? Gemini. So it was Gemini, and then it was.
You asked Google, huh?
And then it was Gronk.
Which was the best AI?
Ask ChatGPT. It was the best AI platform.
Should I? Ooh.
Well, Google's gonna say Gemini.
Watch. Let's find out.
It's like calling BMWs. What's better, BMW or Mercedes?
Well, GPT has 5.0 now.
Yeah.
So when you were probably rating it, when Grok came, it was 4.5.
No, Gronk was. I think it was 5.
No, not yet. 5 came out like a month and a half about.
Okay, let's ask it.
So hold on, while you're typing that in,
go ahead.
Dude, do you know this thing can fully translate like English to Armenian and recite it to you? ChatGPT 5.
Really?
Yeah.
I've Eastern, translation, yes, but I didn't think it could recite it.
Yeah, Eastern and Western Armenian. Yeah, it's
insane. Yeah, no, it is Amazon. So it's called Amazon SageMaker, Microsoft AI, and then obviously Google's is next. But no,
those are not right.
These are not.
Microsoft is Azure. Amazon's that's Sage.
Yeah, and then
that's a candle.
Open AI is ChatGPT, GPT-4, Codex. Yeah, this is it says it goes in a completely different.
Gemini is for the videos though, video editing. You have Flow. You have Gemini.
Is that what he uses?
No.
He goes home.
Yeah, it's very strange where it's going with this.
Sounds like you're using the aftermarket version.
Seriously, it's
Everything's off.
it's
He's
fucking
like,
Alibaba. It's the
yeah.
Alibaba version.
Grok is a little bit better. Yeah, because you have the Ukrainian version.
Yeah, but see,
Timu.
when you talk about it, when you Google it, yeah, it says Gemini is the best one. You're absolutely right. But here it's saying completely something different.
Well, it's saying names that aren't even AI companies.
What would you call it, an AI company or AI platform?
AI platform. Those are not AI, at least as far as I know.
I'm not.
Those are not the proper names for it.
I have no idea. All I know is ChatGPT. That shit rules all.
Yeah, see, it doesn't. Again, it goes into like random AI platforms. Again, maybe there's things that we don't know about it. But anyways, I mean, let's just move on from this fucking AI shit, bro. I don't even want to.
AI fucking rabbit hole.
Are you looking for a place to kick back and celebrate? Well, the Glen Arden Club has got you covered. Upstairs, you got a private lounge with a cigar room. Downstairs, you got the Moose Den, where you can have cocktails and private events. Hey, are you even hungry? They got an outside pizzeria serving one of the best pizzas in town. If you're interested in becoming a member with the Glen Arden Club or booking an event, contact the WiseNuts. We'll connect you to the boys at the Glen Arden, and you could become a member here or host your next gathering. Fast forward a couple of months,
Dude, yeah. Mm-hmm.
and you were involved in a car accident / motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
Run us back as far as what happened there. Where were you coming from? Where were you going?
Oh man, perfect. Okay, so this is
And when
story
was
time.
it exactly? Yeah.
Okay, to the date, I knew exactly what was going on. So, fast forward 5 months, May 20th of this year. I was so post Eaton fire post Eaton fire incident. I kind of thought about like promotions and promotional opportunities. So what I did was I opened up my captain's task book and started taking my captain's courses a little before the fires. It was actually in December. So I started taking my captain's courses. December, January, and February were rescheduled because of the fires, and then so forth. It just kind of stacked forth. And came along May. I'm taking my hazmat incident commander class, and this is the second to last class before my entire series is complete, and you're granted the official certification from the state fire marshal. So, finish the class, go home. I'm like, hey, I'm thinking to myself, I was like, hey, I gotta work for 5 days, and when we work, it's like for 24-hour shift. So when I go to work, I ain't coming back home until I get off. So I'm going home. I'm gonna go to work for 5 days, come home for 1 day, and then go back for 4 days. I was like, I can't. I'm not gonna have time to enjoy this bike, and it's already been like a week or 2 weeks that I haven't ridden it. So I was like, you know what? We go drop off the car, which is at the house. Drop off the car, gear up, get on the bike. Let me go to Harley real quick and pick up a part that I need for my brake, my taillight. And everything was functioning. So I don't want any fucking Nazi saying, "Oh, you don't have a functioning taillight," or fucking some bullshit. Like, no, everything was functioning. It was like a screw that was like threaded or like stripped, and I just needed to get something else for that. So anyway, I get on the bike, geared up, hit the 5 freeway, or I'm about to hit the 5 freeway. I see a bunch of gridlock traffic. I'm right by San Fernando, and dude, it was like I thought to myself, I was like, should I just flip a bitch and take San Fernando all the way down to Glendale Harley Davidson? And I was like, nah, fuck it. Just jump on the freeway. I can split lanes. It's legal in California. Jump on the 5 on Verdugo. Make my way down towards Alameda Western area.
Which is the next exit over.
Which is like the next exit
Yeah.
over. So I jumped on, immediately traversed across to the carpool lane, which is right there. Boom, I'm in the carpool lane. I'm splitting. It's home free for me. Like all I got to do is exit Los Feliz or Colorado off the 5 freeway. And I'm right there by Glendale Harley. So I'm mobbing 25, 30 miles an hour. And dude, out of nowhere, Maserati comes and smacks me. She crossed the double solid white lines in the carpool lane, hit my front forks, which hit her rear bumper, rear quarter panel area, and kind of veered me into the center divider And at that point, I was like, oh shit, close my eyes. Like, I don't know if I can see what's going on. So I closed my eyes, but I was awake the whole time. So I know what the fuck's going on. And it just felt like I got jumped. Like a bunch of people are just punching the shit out of me. That's what it felt like, tumbling and being ejected and all that kind of stuff. Cause you have all that adrenaline running through you, you know what's going on. So you're not really feeling that pain, but you're hurting. So an accident happens. I'm closing my eyes. I'm like, oh shit. So immediately I know I'm like, I gotta call off work and call insurance. I'm not even thinking about the extent of my injuries because I was like, I should be fine. 25, 30 miles an hour. It's not that fast. It's not that slow. I'm like, I'm pretty thick, so I don't have to worry about it. But I'm awake. So if it was bad, I would be unconscious by now. So laying on the freeway, flip my visor up. Bunch of witnesses come in the middle of the freeway and say like, holy shit, like we saw everything, like don't move, are you okay? I was like, motherfucker, like, oh, I'm not okay. And I'm like, I can't feel my legs. Like, are my legs like deformed and like fucked up? Like, is there like amputated? Like, is there blood anywhere or anything? And he's like, no, bro, you look totally fine. I was like everything's there, nothing's like out of whack, out of place. He's like, no, you're there. You look like you're just laying there.
Did you try to get up at all when you hit the ground?
Immediately, no. I was like, cool. I couldn't feel my legs, but I was like, cool. Maybe I got dead legged, like with Charlie Horse. Like somebody came and I just had a tumble of a lifetime, you know? I might have hit something and it caused like my legs to go numb. Take off my helmet, and I'm like, fuck. So kind of like fight or flight kicks in, paramedic. Let me just do my own like head to toe assessment. My phone is on my bike. It's like quad locked on there. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to call 911, but I'm sure someone else called 911 because that's what fucking people do. Rubberneck and.
Are you sure they don't get their phones on and start recording?
And they did that shit too.
Of course they did.
I'm sure they did, but I haven't gotten any videos, man. Come on, what the fuck? Hit me up. Anyway, so I'm laying there. I'm doing my own assessment. I see my arm. Arm was pretty fucked up. And this is like what it's healed to now that I'm looking at the image. It doesn't look too bad.
No, you actually heal, and this is without any grafts or anything, right?
No grafts, no nothing. Just natural healing and like the ointment and shit they gave me and some scar cream. But yeah, just some discoloration and there's some texturing on the skin. But this is the extent of the external injuries I've had. Like there's like a little 1-inch cut right here that's pretty much healed. It's just this scar, and then there was like a little abrasion by my hip. But this is the extent of the external injury.
Do you know how far you traveled when you got hit?
No, I wish I did. But I did have my GPS.
Mm-hmm.
It was right behind my license plate, like tracker. Because if someone ever stole my bike, like I'm gonna fucking track this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I put the GPS tracker behind the plate, and when I got in the accident, the bike ended up laying down on its left side, and I had a vertical plate holder. It ended up grinding away the plate and flicked the tracker off. So the tracker was on the freeway up until like a couple weeks ago. Like he was still saying, "Hey, your motorcycle is still on the freeway."
No shit.
It's not on there. It's just the tracker.
Yeah.
But it was still there, so I knew exactly where the accident happened. It was 5 in like Western, I think it was. Right, it was like we were driving by it, and I was like, right here, and I'm like right fucking there. So, anyways, I was going down, and I was like, okay, arms fucked up, not the end of the world. Checking the rest of my upper body out, it's fine. There's no like abrasions, nothing. Get down to my legs. I'm like, oh, there's nothing on my legs. Fuck it. So I try and bend at my waist, dude. The worst fucking back pain I've ever had in my life. I was like, holy shit. Thunderbolts down my legs. I was like, okay, wait a minute, I can fucking feel my legs. But I put my hands in my pockets. I was like, start pinching myself. I was like, fuck. I can feel the pain, but I can't like feel my legs. And I try wiggling my toes inside my boots. Ain't shit happening. So I was like, fuck, I'm paralyzed. I did not know the extent of it. I didn't know if it was temporary or permanent because obviously situationally dependent. I was like, fuck, I wasn't going that fast, but I'm like, fuck, I got back pain. I was like, I know I'm paralyzed. I just didn't know the magnitude of it. But I was like, okay, I need to get the fuck off this freeway. I know 911 is probably on its way. the bystander came. He's like, hey, I got your phone off the bike. I was like, oh, thank God. Grab my number. I have, I'll send you pictures and videos of the incident. I was like, money, witness. Number one, witness number two, passenger and driver. So that's checked. Okay. Chippy's on its way. I have my vest on. I have my wallet, registration, and my fucking gun because I have a CCW in my vest. So I was like, fuck, okay, let me take my vest off because I know, no offense to any firefighter watching this, I know these motherfuckers are going to come and cut my vest off. And I was like, absolutely not, because that's what I would have done. Take the shit off, and I'm going to do everything I can to roll off of it and just hand my entire vest to the officer. I was like, dude, take my vest, my gun's in there, my wallet's in there, my registration in there. Everything you want is going to be in there. Whenever you're done with it, give it to the fire department. He's like, all right, copy that. You got your CCW? I'm like, yeah, everything's in there. He's like, cool. 2 minutes later, fire department comes, Burbank Fire. These motherfuckers, God bless them, by the way. I don't want to call them motherfuckers because they're really nice guys and they actually helped me really well. I say that with all love. They come, and one of them I was on a fire with 5 years ago, 5 years prior. He's like, what the fuck? Like, dude, it's you. Like, we went to Napa together on a wildfire up there on the glass fire. And he fucking recognized me. He's like, holy shit, this is that guy. So they ended up taking care of me. I give him the full rundown. I was like, dude, this is what happened. The fucking to the T. Like, I paint him the entire picture. And the only issue that they were kind of having with was sending me to Huntington, which was in Pasadena, and the accident happened in Burbank. They're like, oh, bro, we can take you to LA County General, LA General, or Holy Cross. I was like, fuck no. You're taking me to my home hospital where I work, where I drop people off, and where like everyone there knows me, and where I know I will be getting the care that I need, where the homies are. So with all some finesse and everything, they ended up taking me there. And they took me to that trauma center. Dude, they opened the doors, and it's fucking everyone I knew. Like, because when we transport people, obviously you're dropping people off, and you're mingling, and you're talking to the nurses, the doctors.
They see you on a daily there.
They see you on the daily, and they're like, "Fuck!" It kind of like hit them. Like, they got blindsided. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, this guy was just here yesterday working, and he's in the fucking hospital in a motorcycle TC. Paralyzed now, you know? So I'm screaming bloody murder. I got fentanyl. I got morphine at the hospital. I got ketamine. And then after the ketamine, I don't remember anything. I remember talking to a couple people after CT scan, and then I ended up getting intubated and straight to surgery. And post-surgery, surgery took about 2 hours.
What was the surgery for, though?
So I had a L1 burst fracture with retropulsion into the spinal canal and cord. So essentially, the L1 vertebrae just exploded. And all that shrapnel went into the canal and the cord and just caused like all these shards of shit that's not supposed to be in there. Just cut up the cord and caused swelling and caused narrowing of the canal where your cord's supposed to run through. And that's what caused the paralysis. So the level of injury, so you have the injury, which is a L1 burst fracture, and then a spinal cord injury level, which is T12. So I'm a T12. And for all my spinal cord injury gurus, my initial diagnosis was T10 complete Asia A. I had progressed to T12 incomplete Asia C post rehabilitation.
So go ahead and just break that down for our non-spinal cord gurus.
Talk to us like we're 5 years old.
Crazy improvement. T10 is about belly button. T12 is right about bikini line. Complete versus incomplete. Complete, just think of it as like severed cord. You're fucked. You're never gonna heal. Like, you got no sensation, no feeling. You got no sphincter control or function, and you have no like anal sensation. Incomplete is no, you do have some feeling, you do have some control. You may not have control, but you may have feeling. So that's what I have. I have feeling, but I don't have control. And then you have your Asia score. And then your Asia score, I don't want to like go verbatim, or I don't know it verbatim, but A is basically you have no function at all. I forget what B is. C is I skipped B because I went from A to C. C is you have 3 levels below your initial level of injury. You have sensation and movement. So T10 was my original level. At L1, which is my hips, I have movement and sensation. So the movement and sensation jumped me from an A to a C. D is basically quote unquote defying gravity, so lifting a limb. E is normal human being. You're a normal human being, you're E. So I'm at C. So the next step would be like, hey, lift the leg up or move a toe or like whatever the case may be. But that was so May 20th accident happened. I was at Huntington Hospital for about 2.5, 3 weeks. Got transferred to Rancho Los Amigos in Downey. I was there for 5 weeks through Kaiser Insurance. By the way, the worst insurance company ever. If there's any Kaiser employee or executive watching this fucking video, you guys suck ass. Let that be on the record. You guys fucking suck. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, they're
I've
terrible,
heard I've heard horrendous stories about Kaiser. It's more about customer
terrible.
service than it is actually saving their care.
Yeah, they're terrible. If you have Kaiser, it's only good for healthy people. If you're healthy and you're normal functioning human of society, it's going to be great for you because all you go in, checkups, go home, blood draws, go home. God forbid you ever get sick or injured, they're not going to help you. You're going to have to kick and fight and scream for your service and for your care.
Man, one of my friend's brothers a couple of years back was a Kaiser patient, and obviously he had some serious health issues.
Yeah,
with kidneys and liver at the time.
Yeah,
but young guy, like early 30s, they didn't want to do anything, any type of intervention.
No, man.
You know what they recommended at that age? They said we need to
euthanize.
No.
It's fucking crazy. You never know.
That may have been easier, but they said
we'd like you to meet Dr. Kevorkian.
We'd like you to consult with the palliative and
what?
Palliative and hospice service.
Hospice. How old is he?
Early 30s.
Hospice?
Yeah, and they called me. They said this is what they're suggesting. I said they're fucking stupid. What do you mean they're suggesting that? Just because
they don't want to help you?
There's some kidney and liver issues. You just put them down. That's it. Take them beyond the barn and shoot them. Like, what's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, they just want to collect their money.
Yeah, I mean, literally, that's what they said. They said we would like for you guys to accept a hospice palliative consult.
So thank God he reached out. Is he okay now?
Yeah, thank God. I mean, he.
So he went and actually saw an actual doctor.
Well, no, I mean, he had to go through some obviously extensive treatment
with an actual doctor,
dialysis and this and that.
With an actual doctor.
No,
I'm just piggybacking on Armin because I've heard horrendous stories about Kaiser and how it's pretty shit.
Even back in the days when I used to do life insurance, anytime my client had Kaiser and we had to request medical records, dude, it would take like
you're pulling teeth
30, 45 days to get, which any other healthcare provider was like, boom, instant, we would get the facts. Kaiser, we would have, by the time we got the life insurance policy would get issued, the guy already had other health concerns that would probably
it's like
affect
you requested these documents about 15 years ago. Yeah. Well, the patient's no longer with us. Oh, we'll go ahead and scrap this for you anyways.
He's gone.
But what I'm not still clear about is what was that 2-hour surgery for exactly? Did they repair anything in your spine or what exactly was that?
Yeah, so what they had to do was they had to fuse. So T10, 11, 12, L1, L2, L3 is fused. Or it is fused. And so there's a fusion and they had to, I forget, lumpectomy. I forget the actual like surgical term, but they had to like remove all the fragments one by one, or as much as they could have.
From the cord.
Not from the cord, from that area, from the canal. And even the doctor said, very good doctor, very good surgeon at Huntington Hospital. He said that like, hey dude, like, there are some shrapnel like in the sheath of your cord that I don't even want to touch or take out because removing that will cause like a cerebral spinal fluid leak and it will cause so much more complications throughout your life. It would just better if I just don't touch it at all. So hopefully over time there would be some like reabsorption of like that calcium or whatever bone fragment, whatever it's made of, that little piece or big piece. But there's still fragments there. They never replaced the whole thing. They just put screws and bolts, titanium screws and bolts, and they put like a cage around that area. And then they just did a massive fusion. So I have like a fusion from like my mid back all the way to my lower back. And thank God my back doesn't hurt. Like I have no back pain. The only time I have pain is like neuropathic pain underneath my feet. So if I don't take like my nerve medications, Lyrica, underneath my feet get really bothersome. And that's the only pain I have. Yeah, no back pain. Thank God. Again, like I think I have less back pain than I did after the surgery.
But mobility wise, toes, you said you can't move your toes.
No, nothing. So no movement really below the waist. I can move my hips a little bit, but below that, like I can't move my knee, can't wiggle my ankle, can't move my toes, none of that stuff.
Can you feel, like, for example, I notice your hands are in your pocket or you're touching your knees or your thighs. Can you feel your legs at all when you touch it?
Yes. So left leg, I have total sensation. When I say total sensation, I mean like it's dull. Like I have sensation, but it's not normal to like this. Like this one I can feel normally. This one is like, hey, your leg goes numb without feeling the pins and needles. Imagine that is what my leg feels like without the pins and needles. It feels like numb. Like there's nothing there. It feels like someone else is touching it, if that makes sense. Like there's no connection. That connection is not there. But
I get what you mean. So you like your hands are touching it.
Yeah. But it's like, why, it feels like someone else is touching it. Does that make sense?
Holy shit. That's freaky.
Yeah. It feels like someone else is touching it. So I can feel hot. I can feel cold. If you pluck like a leg hair, I can feel it. Scratches, pinches, all that shit I can feel on my left leg. Right leg, there's a dead spot from my right where my bikini line is, the T12 area, all the way down to right where my kneecap is. I think that's because like it can be anything. Some people have said like, oh, it's because you have fucking tattoos there. Like I have a half leg sleeve, and they're like, oh, it's because you're tatted. And I was like, fuck out of here, bro. Like
they know that the tattoo is under the skin, right?
Yeah,
okay.
It's like it has nothing to do with the nervous system, and I'm like, bro, it has nothing to do with the tattoo. Like there's just a dead zone right here. So this I can't feel nothing, but below here, below the knee on my right leg, I can feel.
So going back to rehab. Yeah. So after your surgery, they discharge you from Huntington Hospital, and you end up at the rehab down in Downey.
Yeah. So
what was that like, and what were you there for?
So my initial thought, I was like, okay, these guys are going to teach me how to walk again. Wow, like they kind of came in and they're like, no, like the purpose of rehabilitation is to rehabilitate you back into society, to make you a normal functioning like human being. Like if you're
your new life, basically.
This is your new life. We need to get you acclimated to your new life. And that kind of like struck me. I was like, oh fuck, maybe like I'm not going to walk again, you know? Which and that might be the case, you know, who knows? And it was kind of like, okay, fuck, where do I start? And it was start off with transfers and movements. Cause for the first like 2 weeks, I was not getting out of bed. I couldn't, like post surgery. But now these motherfuckers have me like transferring from a bed to a wheelchair, doing physical therapy now. And like post Rancho Los Amigos, they're like, dude, like you progressed like crazy for being here for only 5 weeks. Not only like you know the lifestyle now, like you've shown a lot of improvement. Like going from T10 to T12, complete to incomplete, and all that stuff is like a big jump. That is a big improvement. So, but I live there. I mean, not living at home. I haven't even been home, like home.
Since the accident.
Like I've been living with my aunt because she's the only one with a house that has like wheelchair accessibility. She has a big house in La Cañada, and she's married with a husband, no kids, in a 4-bedroom house. So she's like, hey, come live with us, and it'll be easier. Like it'll be easier for you instead of going up these townhouse like 3 stories with a fucking wheelchair. Like it's impossible. Like it just wouldn't work. So I just haven't been home since, and obviously, I don't think that's going to be the case ever, unless I end up walking. But yeah, rehab was crazy. I saw like this, I saw myself, and I was like, okay, like I got to do everything I can to get better. Like I have no option but to walk again, and I saw like the people that I was there with, and I was like, I don't have it that bad, to be honest with you. Some people there are pretty fucked up, and like you kind of take a step back, and you're like, I'm kind of thankful for the situation that I have, and I'm not in a situation where I'm paralyzed from the neck down, and I have no arms. Like my upper body's still fantastic. My like anything waist up is great, works perfectly fine.
Probably even stronger than before.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because that's all I'm depending
Right.
on. And what I do post Rancho Los Amigos now, post rehab, official rehab, inpatient therapy is I kind of do my own physical therapy with my brother. We go back to Rancho Los Amigos. They have a wellness center that you pay like a monthly membership for, and they have like the electrostimulus bike, they have the standing frame, and they have like a small little gym. And I just recently started like incorporating like weighted exercises because technically I'm not even supposed to be doing anything yet. But it works. Like the upper body strength is still there, like no muscle atrophy in upper body. Lower body's cooked, as you may know. Like what is it, almost 5 months or 4 months?
4 months.
4 months post accident. Like you're not using anything, it's gonna pretty much shrink. So upper body's good. I can do pull ups. I did like 4 sets of 12, like no problem. So I had no issue with that. And yeah, it's just aggressive rehabilitation. Like I've been doing that. I just now got approved for outpatient therapy through Kaiser after leaving Rancho post 2 months, which is crazy. If I didn't do fucking rehab and physical therapy on my own for 2 months, who was gonna do it? Like
they didn't provide any type of like home health care
they did
referrals or to come home and give you physical therapy at home, occupational therapy.
They did for the first like week or two, but like they don't have equipment. I'm like, what are you gonna teach me here? Like I learned everything in rehab. Like I thought like I opted in for aggressive home health and occupational therapy in lieu of like, hey, maybe Kaiser can get their shit together and get me into outpatient therapy while they get this paperwork sorted out for these 2 weeks. And then I can go in, like smooth transition. But no, like these guys, nothing against them. Like I just like progressed. They're not used to having a 29-year-old like paralyzed like dude. It's like it's all older guys who can't really walk, who can't like take care of themselves. It's like, no, I'm a fucking functioning human being. Like I don't need your help. Like I'll figure this shit out. So the home health was kind of a waste of time. And now I'm just like 2 months just jaw jacking and jerking off, just trying to. I would have been if I didn't go to physical therapy on my own time. So thankfully, my brother and I went and did all that stuff at the wellness center, and now gonna have like a smooth transition to outpatient therapy. But once open enrollment comes, I'm out of here. I'm not going to Kaiser anymore. Like I'm switching insurance companies, but still officially employed, still a fireman. And the city and unions doing everything they can to try and secure like a position for me to try and still be within the fire department.
Well, I mean, obviously not in the field, but
Yeah.
at least like a desk job, something like that.
Something like I think if I walked today, if I stood up right now, like I would not like go into the fire service, like working as a fireman, just because the risk of injury and like how demanding the job is. Like it just would never work.
No, at that point, it would be more of a thank God you're on your feet.
Yeah.
And let's not jeopardize
100%.
The time, the effort, and obviously the patience you've put in to get back on your feet. Are you looking for a place to kick back and celebrate? Well, the Glenarden Club has got you covered. Upstairs, you got a private lounge with a cigar room. Downstairs, you got the Moose Den, where you can have cocktails and private events. Hey, are you even hungry? They got an outside pizzeria serving one of the best pizzas in town. If you're interested in becoming a member with the Glenarden Club or booking an event, contact the WiseNuts. We'll connect you to the boys at the Glenarden, and you can become a member here or host your next gathering. What are you doing outside of the physical therapy? Anything as far as you mentioned something about stem cells.
Yeah.
So what's going on there? Is it? Can we talk about that on air? Is that okay?
Yeah, we can talk about it on air just a little bit. Yeah,
because stem cells, obviously, we've talked about it in prior episodes where FDA doesn't approve it, and it's not secure, it's not safe, and it's not regulated. So, is it actual stem cells that you're?
Yeah. So, people had said like, oh, you can do. So, there's different methods of stem cells. You have like intranasal, like spray, I guess. So it's atomized. You have IV stem cells, and then you have like direct injection, which is like directly into the spinal cord. In my case, or it may be into like someone else's case where like if they have like a knee injury or shoulder injury, direct injection there. But you have like the embryonic stem cells and then the adult stem cells. And through basic research, all I figured out is like embryonic stem cells, they're not practiced here ethically in the US. So you would definitively have to fly out of like the US, like North America, to get that done. It would probably be done in Europe.
You mean Planned Parenthood doesn't have any?
No,
Right.
maybe in the toilets. Adult stem cells, they can harvest from your own body. So it can be from bone marrow, from fat cells, the list goes on. It can be from pretty much whatever they can figure out. Bone marrow and fat cells being the main ones.
And that's part of the reason why when babies are born, they ask you if you want to freeze the umbilical cord.
Yeah.
Is for that purpose. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah. And I think that goes back down to embryonic because
Correct.
I think there's still like placenta and like the umbilical cord. I think there's that aspect of it. Again, it's not practiced here. I'm not educated in that enough to like talk about it. I wish I could, but it seems like the embryonic one is definitely more effective. And it has more potential, but it also has those quote unquote ethical issues that it has, which the fuck, like, is there boarding babies left and right? Like, this thing's not even, this is an egg that's been artificially inseminated for 4 or 5 days. Like, it means nothing. So, I think for the greater cause and for the human species, it should be practiced. That's my personal opinion. But adult stem cells, costly, very expensive. They can do it here in the U.S. with permission of the FDA for clinical trials, and that's the process that I'm going through. And it's probably going to be more than likely going to be done in Florida. The initial plan was Texas, but it got pushed back to Florida.
You haven't began it.
No, I haven't began it, and I'm still in that early phase where they can still be like show efficacy, like it can be effective in my treatment and my healing. So I'll throw the book at it. I'll try it. I did the stem cell patches. I talked to the stem cell doctor about that. He's like, that's not going to work. He's like, you need to be legitimately like injected with stem cells for it to work. Like those patches may boost your mood or like.
Those patches are probably good for like elbow pain and knee pain and things
not
of
my
that
case.
nature. You need the injections for it to be
I'm
effective.
curious, what would happen in the case of stem cell injection? So is it going to connect to the spinal cord cells and divide and kind of fuse it back together? Is that what the purpose behind it is?
So as far as I've been told, again, I'm not like, I don't know. I wish I knew more about it through research and what I've figured out. It's basically mimics like a lumbar tap, how you would get if they're testing you for meningitis. So it's like a spinal tap. They're going to tap into the spinal like column area and then inject the cells directly into the cord under anesthesia, under all that stuff. And hopefully those cells are going to help regenerate those destroyed cells. It's just like how they would inject it into your knee or shoulder or elbow. And
it's a much more sophisticated PRP.
Like
that's what it is at the end of the day. It's the regenerative medicine.
Yeah. And that's the best way I can describe it, or as far as I know. I'm not a doctor. I haven't describe. I haven't practiced it. I don't know enough about it. I haven't witnessed it, so I can't tell you. Once I go through it, well, sit down and talk about it all day. I can tell you like, oh yeah, they laid me down on my belly and this is what they did. But as far as I know, they're gonna try all three methods on me, and it's fairly expensive.
It's just fascinating how something that's potentially going to help humanity is still in clinical trial.
Yeah.
They freaking know how this shit works,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, these scientists all know.
Yes and no, because look, even the issue is this. About 4 years ago, I looked into embryonic stem cell, which one of the only countries that was offering it at the time was Ukraine, and this is before the Russia-Ukrainian war.
Mhm.
And I talked to the main clinic in Ukraine back then, the director and all, to see if they'd be willing to open up a location in Armenia. So when I was in Armenia 3 years ago, I went out there, met with a friend of mine who owns a hospital, one of the most prestigious hospitals in Yerevan.
Mhm.
I had a meeting with him, met with his chief medical officer, and I was like, look, this is the idea I have, is to bring this Ukrainian clinic and maybe open one up in Dilijan or somewhere, kind of make it a wellness center, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even Armenia, which I did not expect, they were like, listen, there's not enough studies on it. We cannot issue you any type of license approval for you to open a clinic of such here in Armenia. That was the situation I ran into.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that could have been overridden by, I didn't push it beyond that. Like, okay, maybe I need to take him out to dinner.
Yeah, and you were just like, hey man, it is what it is. Yeah.
Not my friend, obviously government officials I'm referring to. But according to him, he said, look, and this guy is super successful. I mean, he's done business with all the prime ministers from previous administrations and the current one. And he's like, they will not allow you to do that.
Are they doing these clinical trials in Mexico? I've heard they're doing stem cells in Mexico.
Yeah. I got recommended to a couple of facilities out there. I think one is right by TJ.
Yeah. My only concern with Mexico is if you're gonna go there to get stem cells, are you gonna come back with 1 or 2 kidneys?
Yeah, it's the legitimacy of it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The stigma it has behind it. But I've heard good things about it. One, there's a clinic down there ran by like Orange County firemen, right on the border, right by Tijuana, and they were saying like, hey, like you should look into it and get it done. But I was like, oh fuck, Tijuana, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's safe. I mean, like, yeah, you'll get the treatment, but it's like, what? There was
a story of those 3 girls who went out to, again, I don't know what city they were in, but they went to Mexico for lap band or gastric bypass surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you got to be put out in order to, not put out. You got to be put under to get
lights
the
out.
surgery done.
Lights out.
And they had some health complications later on. And when they visited the doctor was like, how long have you had 1 kidney for?
Yeah, I think I've heard this story. Yeah.
That's freaking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that she didn't even know she was functioning with 1 tells you something.
Yeah. And then she's like, well, I went to Mexico for, gastric bypass or lap band surgery with my girlfriend. And then that's checked the other.
Took it out.
Yeah. And that's the other 2 girlfriends were missing a kidney as well.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. It's fucked up.
So, I mean, that's.
Yeah, but you got to imagine there's thousands and thousands of people every year that go to Mexico and other countries.
That's one story.
Yeah, I went for hair transplant and they put me under for hair transplant. And all of a sudden I'm having a lot of back pain.
Kanye's mom, right, went in for plastic surgery.
Yeah.
She never woke up from it. So it's not necessarily, can't look at it that way that if I go to Mexico, my kidneys are going to be
No.
black market.
This is a story that was out there.
Yeah, it's just the stigma and the risk that it has behind it. Like, that it's like unsafe, quote unquote. But yeah.
Have you been involved in a car accident? Don't face the aftermath alone. Armen Grigorian is your personal injury attorney who specializes in car accidents. He'll fight for compensation that you deserve. Call Armen Grigorian now at 818-404-0333. That's 818-404-0333. 0333.
How's life been for you the last 4 months now? Since obviously this is a completely life altering, shattering.
Oh man.
Even though you have to look at the end of the day,
Yeah.
look at it as glass half full, right? You're
Yep.
alive, you're here today, you're
100%.
healthy. Could be a lot worse.
100%.
But how has life been for you since? And I mean, you're a young man, 29 years old.
Yeah.
What are some challenges mentally, physically that you've had to endure and overcome?
Man. I would say like the hardest part is like trying to get out of my normal like habitual lifestyle, like wake up, go to work, gym, come home, and like have a routine. Like I have a routine now, but it's not the routine that I've been used to for X amount of years. Like I have to like reprogram everything, and nothing is the same. Like nothing works the same, and it's just like getting up, like getting into a car doesn't take 2 seconds. Like literally just getting into a car. Like you have to fucking, it takes,
The process.
it's a process. Everything's a process now. And that's just like the bitch about everything. Um, Mental strength, it's good. Like I've had like an insane amount of like support from friends, family, coworkers, all that stuff. It's just been insane. Like these guys have been by my side like since the day it happened. The night it happened. So like the support system has been great. I have nothing to say about the support system. Just absolutely phenomenal. It's just like the personal aspect of like, dude, like I just had a life altering injury. I will never do this job again, and that's all I knew. Like that's what I knew. That's all I knew. That's all I did. Um, I'll never ride again. Like when I say never, yeah, I can. I can get on a fucking trike. Even if I'm paralyzed, I can get on a trike and ride. But like, it's not the same. I've done so much shit in my life at such a young age that no like paralyzed guy or physical therapist or doctor is going to tell me like, oh, you know, you can still do this. I'm like, yeah, no fucking shit. I can still do it, but like, it's not going to be the same. Like, nothing is this is. I've done these things like as a normal human like when I was like functioning and they were so like exceptional that I would want to experience them again and I can't experience them the way that I want to. Like riding the motorcycle, it's liberating. I wish everybody can have like the joy of riding a bike and like how exhilarating it is to like be on two wheels. It just is what it is. As dangerous as it is, like I don't think I regret it. Like I enjoyed every second of it. And what I did, and not what I did, the accident I got into wasn't my fault. And I'm content with that. Like if it was my fault, I would have been dead. If somebody else hit me and it was their fault. And that just is what it is. But like won't be able to do the job again. Everything's a hassle to like get out of bed and like be in this routine. Won't ride a bike again. Like everything's a process, and like I just have to like mentally be strong enough to like accept that and just do it.
It's difficult for you because as a firefighter, forget the routine. There was a disciplinary factor there where everything was done to the T because of, as I just mentioned, the discipline factor. So it's like you wake up in the morning, you go to the gym, and I get it. Yeah, it is that routine that you have. But if you don't have the discipline, that routine it could cease to exist. And being an active guy, you're constantly wanting to be in motion from what I could tell, from the bike riding to the gym to the fire department. And now all of a sudden, you know, it's like a rug that's just pulled out from underneath your feet. You're just like, shit, like now I want to continue to stay active, but you know, I commend you because you're allowing yourself to change whatever you were doing and adapt to it in a different way.
Yeah. Like I want to like do more right now, but it's so early on into like the healing process where I'm just like, I got to go balls to the wall with this like healing, the aggressiveness on the physical therapy and like the treatments and all that stuff. I just need to, that's what my focus needs to be on.
dude, I could tell from the tone of your voice, you're very, very, and I'm so happy to hear it.
Yeah.
The tone of it, you're positive in a fact where you're going to get back on your feet.
Yeah. That's why I keep telling, like, I have that lingering thing in the back of my head. Like, I don't have an option. Like, it has to happen. Like, that is the option. It's work, like walking on a cane and like being on a walker, like, and then I can progress from there. But like, it has to, like, there is no other option. Like, I gotta be back on my feet, man. Like, there is something in like the back of my head that says, like, this may be it, and like mentally I'm okay with that. Not okay with it, but I'm content with it. But I don't want it to be the option I go with. Like, I have to walk. I have to, and I'm hoping the day comes.
Are you familiar with Paul Alexander's story, the man with the iron lung?
That he just lived into the iron lung until he was like 80, 90, or like 70 years old.
Yeah, 70 some years
Yeah.
old. He was 6 years old when he was diagnosed with polio, and then that led to
Very briefly
him losing his functionality of his lungs, and pretty much for 70 plus years, he lived in a metal container.
Yeah, he was laying flat.
His head was outside, everything else, the rest of his body was inside. And I mean, and this is the thing about life is when you're in a situation, right? We were talking about earlier how I had a health issue when I was right after my sophomore year in high school, and I lived in the hospital for a year and a half of my life, and couldn't walk, had to relearn how to walk again. And it's like, then you look at people around you, like, okay, at least, obviously in the beginning it's tough because you're thinking, why did this happen to me? I'm 17 years old. You're 29 years old.
Yeah.
Why did this happen to me? Why not somebody else?
Yeah.
But then the moment you switch your mentality from why me to why not me is when the optimism and the potential kicks in, where you're like, I think I will overcome this and I will adapt to my new life and the challenges I face. And then I'll find a mission and a purpose behind it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's very important to be able to have that mindset. Otherwise, obviously, modern medicine is advancing faster than ever.
Yeah, it's always going to progress.
It's progressing extremely fast now with nanotechnologies and AI and everything. Regenerative medicine is where they're trying to focus, and that obviously is going to benefit you.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I think it's important for you to have the optimism that you have.
Yeah.
But without like waiting for, okay, if this happens, then I'll be okay. No, you're okay.
There's no this happening.
Yeah. You are okay now, and you have to live the life you have today.
Yeah.
Just like all of us. Look, everybody's always, if this happens to me, I'll be happy. Really? If I just win the lotto, the $2 billion, lottery ticket, I'll be happy. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be miserable if you win that lottery ticket. Or if I only had this, then I'll have kids. If it's like we're never satisfied. We're always waiting for the next big thing to bring happiness, which it shouldn't, because a incident recently happened with a close friend of mine. I don't want to get into details of, but after I found out about this incident, like, I was laying down in bed with my wife, and I'm like, there's so many people around the world today that will not get to hug their loved one.
No.
And they didn't know that yesterday or today in the morning. But now at night, they will never get to hug that one person in their life.
Yeah.
And we never know when that last day is. So that's why it's so important to be able to maximize the time we have. And for you, this could be your potential, for example, even in the fire department, to do something so extraordinary, because now you have to go above and beyond your physical capabilities, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what, like, I don't say strived on, but like the light was kind of shining on that, the physical aspect of it. Because, there was like, it requires some education, but a lot of it is physically demanding, and you're just like, hey, no more. You're done. Sit down.
Yeah. And I remember going back to when I was dealing with my, health issue. The simplest thing, even washing my face, right? For some time, I couldn't wash my face. And then you're like, shit, I wish I miss washing my face. Like they would bring a damp towel and, kind of clean my face that way. I couldn't actually get a,
bowl of
water in my hands and wash my face. And you don't think about that every morning when you wake up. You wash, you brush your teeth. You don't think about it.
Yeah, man.
And when you lose that ability to do that, or when I had lost the ability to walk, I didn't think I have to learn how to walk. I thought, well, I'll just get up and walk again. No, your brain forgets, your nervous system forgets what the next steps are. You have to retrain it just like a little baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We take all these things for granted. Like we don't, even these hand movements right now. Like sometimes I'll think about it. I'm like, okay, what does it take for me to do this?
Yeah, you
like,
just
think
do
about it.
Yeah.
What does it take for you to do this right now? Right? The Italians, Armenians, hey, what's the matter?
Yeah.
Like, what does it take, honestly, if you think about it?
Yeah.
How does it, like that split, not even split second,
Yeah, there's so much
you
going
think
on.
about it and
You know
it's
what it
already,
is? It's
crazy.
You don't realize what it takes until you lose it.
Exactly. And that's why when I come across, people who complain and bitch about life, my dad's not buying me the M3, my mom doesn't want to get me the latest iPad. I mean, listen, motherfucker. Go to a rehab center, pediatric rehab center especially.
Oh, man, yeah.
Let's go to Children's Hospital together. Let's see what people are really fighting.
Oh, no. You got to tell them, let's go to the Children's Rehab Center, and I want you to complain to them about why your dad's not getting you that iPad or why your dad is not getting you that M3.
Yeah, because when I was at the rehab center, I saw kids who literally the only way they could function to control their wheelchair was through their tongue. They had like this little machine, like what's his name?
Oh my God, man. Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
Like they would control the wheelchair with the tongue. That's how paralyzed they were. So the other kid next to him who was only paralyzed from the waist down was probably looking at him saying, thank God I have functionality in my upper body, right? And the other kid who had whatever, let's say muscle dystrophy, who needed to have plastic restraints to be able to even barely walk, was looking at the other kid saying, at least thank God I could walk a little bit, right? And so on and so forth. That's what I was looking at. That's what I was witnessing and thinking to myself, you know what? I may be worse than those 3, but I'm better than these 15 kids. I should be thankful. I shouldn't be complaining about it.
Yeah. That's that's how it was at rehab.
Yours was not pediatric.
No.
Mine, I was a pediatric patient at the time.
Yeah.
So you had like probably 70, 80-year-olds who.
Yeah, no, they were pretty old. I mean, there were a couple guys who were like in their 30s, out of 50s, and like a couple older dudes too. But you can tell like their mood was like stripped from them. Like they were like, it felt like looking at them felt like everything was robbed from them. And I'm coming in, I was like, the fuck, like everything was robbed from me. Like I'm the one with the youth and like the career and everything like ahead of me. You guys have lived your life and all this stuff. And not to belittle them in any way, but like I'm over here coming in with like a happy attitude, trying to like motivate you guys. Like, come on, man. Like today's another day of physical therapy. It wouldn't be like a group session or anything, but I think
let's pump each other up at this point. It's kind of like everybody,
you can't be the Debbie Downer of the group, man.
Exactly.
You can't be it. And it's going to be a domino effect and it's going to go down and it's just going to ruin everyone else's mood. And I just told them, I'm like, hey, like you guys will walk again. Like you guys have nothing to worry about, man. Like you guys will heal. Don't worry about it. Just think of it one step at a time. And every day is another day that you're alive on this earth. And just be thankful for it. And I know I'm happy. I'm happy I'm alive. I just got a long road to recovery, man. That's all it is.
When I came in here and you guys were hanging out, chit-chatting, your energy showed a lot, man.
Yeah. It was like,
it resonated right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to always keep that energy up
Oh, 100%.
flowing 100%, man.
100%. Yeah.
Full throttle.
Yeah.
Because a human being's personality and their energy has a lot to do with how they progress in life as well.
100%.
It sounds freaking cliche, man,
Yeah.
but it's true. The more negative you are, the more negativity you're going to attract to yourself.
100%.
As I mentioned, your energy was like all the way up here.
Yeah. You're probably like, well, fuck. This
yeah.
guy's living a better life than me.
Yeah, dude. The smile, the enthusiasm, everything. Like it was amazing just to feel that resonate from you to us.
Yeah. Yeah. People have said that. They're like, dude, like, it's crazy, like how like happy and like positive you are. I'm like, dude, like the support system's there, man. Like everyone always hits me up. They want to hang out. It actually it's kind of, dare I say, annoying. Like, hey, bro, kind of like leave me alone. Like, give me a second to myself, you know? But like anytime the boys want to like hang out, they're like, dude, just let us know. We'll come pick you up. Don't even worry about it. That's one thing. I'm not independent yet. Like I haven't learned to drive. Yeah, they put me behind a simulator with the hand controls. Like I can figure it out, but it's not official like on the books where it's like, oh, you've been signed off, you know, your task book has been signed off. It's like you got to go through the process, you got to go through the DMV, and you got to get it all like done officially. But yeah, that's everything else. I can dress myself, go to the bathroom, do all that shower, do all that stuff by myself. So it's no issue. Yeah.
And a lot of activities these days, even like
they're accommodating.
Extreme activities are accommodating. I mean,
very
anything from skydiving to boat racing, you name it. Most, if not all, activities are accommodating these days. It's not like before where if you're on a wheelchair, you're pretty much you can't do anything. But today, there's so many different things to do, and at the same time, I think what also helps. What I ended up doing is, for example, I would go back and I would volunteer at the pediatric hospitals right after my discharge when I was able to go back. For almost 20 years, I did that. Because when you end up helping others who are in a similar situation, it gives you purpose.
Yeah.
And you heal faster.
Yeah.
Because now it's not about you anymore. It's about somebody else.
Yeah.
And regardless of, you know, God forbid, whatever health challenges, you know, somebody's, you know, overcome cancer diagnosis, they're in remission or anything, right? Disability, whatever it is, or even like somebody who's recovering from drugs now, they're now sober and whatnot, alcoholics, whoever it is. One of the best ways to remain on track is to try to help others in a similar situation that you can relate to, because that gives you the purpose to be like, I'm doing good for the world. It's not just about me. Because when it's all about us, it's easy for us to give up. It's easy for us to be lazy and, you know, kind of become content and, okay, fine, I'll just, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But when the purpose becomes beyond you, then the limit is, there's no limit.
Yeah.
That's just,
It's true.
That's my experience with, you know, overall, just my health battles that I had 30 years ago, plus everything that I do today with, you know, other organizations. It's all that's the key that I found that that helps people overcome anything, any battles, any challenges in life.
Because it shows them too that it's possible. It gives them hope. It gives them faith. Like it gives them like the willingness to push further and further.
Yeah.
I was in that situation. I've done it. You can too. And then let me help you. So it builds that confidence in them, and just, yeah, you know, you're doing better for the world. You're giving back.
And they can never tell you don't understand what I'm going through.
Oh, I do know. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I do know what's going on.
Yeah, it's like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Trust me, I do.
Yeah, I do. I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother, we're excited to see this journey that you're going through.
Yeah, for sure.
To see you back on your feet, man.
Yeah, everyone is. They're like, hey, man, Rancho, Huntington. They're like, bro, we can't wait for the day you come in, walking in here.
Yeah. What was your IG handle again?
IG handle, first name dot last name, Armen.Hago. So
Armen.Hago.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're not following Armen, give him a follow, show him some support. Dude, this is something where all of us are sending you so much positive energy.
Appreciate
And I'm honestly saying this. We're very optimistic about seeing you go through this journey and get back on your feet.
Thank you.
God willing, that couple months, maybe a year or so later, we'll have you back on here.
A revisit, yeah.
And you'll be walking through that door.
Yeah, dude, that'll be crazy, man.
We keep us updated on that stem cell stuff.
I will, 100%.
Because that's something we're obviously coming from you doing it and then going through the rehab of it. Yeah. We'd love to just get more information about how 100%. Everything in the process is going through, to share it obviously on the platform and let people know that, hey, you know what? You guys remember Armen Hagopian, who was on the podcast? Well, you know what? He's going through stem cell. And
yeah. I can, dude, I don't mind coming back on and sharing it. Jaw jacking more. Like I have no issue with it, man. So just let me know. As soon as it's done, I'll text you, and then
hell yeah.
Whether you guys tell me to kick rocks or pound sand, it's up to you. It don't matter to me.
No pun intended, huh?
I can't pound sand. Go kick rocks anymore.
Kick rocks. Oh, jeez. Armin John, we really appreciate you taking time
Thank you for having
to sit down and join us. We hope this message or this story that you have resonates and more people hear about it, because it's one hell of a story, man.
Yeah,
because everybody's battling something, and through you, a lot of people can heal. Because if they see you, they'll be like, "Shit, man, why am I complaining and bitching? This guy has all the reason to do so, and yet he's sitting here.
Yeah,
he's optimistic.
He's not miserable, man.
Yeah, he's full of life."
And funny enough, you say that. A lot of people have actually hit me up and have said that to me. No injury, no, I don't know if they have any health issue or not going on in their lives, but they've hit me up and they said, dude, like, your energy on the situation alone on itself is just insane. Like the way you're handling it and like the way you're so positive about the whole situation. One of my old friends from high school that hit me up, his name is Axel. He said that, I had done another interview with another platform, and I had mentioned that no matter who you are, where you are in life, there's always somebody somewhere that has it harder than you have it.
Absolutely.
And just be grateful that like you are doing the way that you are doing, and just be so happy that you're not in that person's shoes who is worse than you.
Yeah. There's that saying where they say a person wakes up and says, I have 99 problems, but then all of a sudden they have a health problem and now they have just one problem.
That's it, man. That's the only
thing. They forget about all the other ones.
That's me right here, man. This is the only problem I have right now. I got to fix it.
Bro, God willing, you get back on your feet.
Thank you, brother.
Sending you a ton of positive energy. Not that you need it, man. You're freaking full of energy, positive energy, that is. But know that on behalf of the three of us, anything you need, hit us up, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
God bless you, your family, your brother who's here. He's had from your story, a tremendous impact, and he's been a big help. And I'm sure the rest of your family, your aunt, everybody else around you.
Yeah, they've been.
So may God bless you, your family, and
appreciate it.
For you to get truly, truly the healing that you deserve.
You're a great inspiration, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you, brother.
Definitely. Guys, today's episode will be up and running on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms mañana. WiseNutsPodcast.com. Grab our merch. Again, we mentioned it, under $30. And we will see you guys all next week.